Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel Lessons at Fingertips. Here we discuss on some important topics in really simple words so that it's easier for you all to understand and keep things in mind. So today our topic of discussion is going to be again a continuation of my previous topic, that is the Harris-Todaro model, and this is the part 2 of the topic. Now this Harris-Todaro model is a really big concept, It's basically not just the rural-urban migration. Yes, it's related to that, but there are a lot of different concepts in it. Okay, so I have already discussed two scenarios in my previous video. Now today we are going to discuss another one scenario, and there will be few more, right? So yes, there will be more videos regarding Harris-Todaro model, and I hope you guys are going to watch it if you really want to understand this topic nicely. So let's begin with the topic. So we can say what is this informal sector? We have already discussed that there is an informal sector which is arising. Why is it arising? Because of the rural-urban migration that is taking place. In the urban formal sector, what we have a fixed wage that is provided, and that in the rural sector, what we have, the wages are not fixed. Why? Because unions are not present. Secondly, most of the laborers are like family workers are there, so there is no such strategy of increase or fixing any wage. So the wage that is prevailing in the rural agricultural sector usually lesser than the formal sector, urban formal sector. And because of this rural-urban migration, there another sector develops in the urban area, which is called as the informal sector. We have already discussed the unemployed sector. Now it is in the unemployed sector where the informal sector also arises. Now when people are unemployed, definitely they will be doing some activities to earn their living, isn't it? And that is where the informal sector arises. Now you guys see here very nicely. Informal sector is what is an outgrowth. It is a result of the fact that the formal sector has wages that is higher than that of the rural sector. Because the formal sector wages are higher than that of the rural sector, the laborers working in the rural sector are migrating to the urban sector, isn't it? Now the informal sector is an eyesore for urban observer and the government. Why is it an eyesore? Because most of the pollution, congestion, criminal activities takes place in this informal sector only. Why is that so? Because people do not have a formal fixed job. They do anything and everything for their living, isn't it? And it is the reason why this informal sector actually is an eyesore for the urban observer or the government. So definitely what is necessary to remove this informal sector? It is very important to remove this informal sector from the economy, from the market. So now you see here, now to remove this informal sector, we can do two steps. Two ways are there. The first one is we need to somehow increase the absorption level of the urban formal sector, isn't it? Now the urban formal sector, as they are charging a fixed wage, they cannot employ more and more workers. Now somehow we need to do something so that this absorption level in the urban sector is increasing. So how can we do that? See, although the wages are fixed at W bar, but still labor employed can be increased. How? By certain tax holidays, or by investment incentives. These can be given to the employers. That means what? The employers will be paying something like W bar minus S. Suppose S is the tax incidence or the tax holidays that are given, then they are paying something W bar minus S, but the employees are getting something W bar, right? So someone is giving this thing. Who is giving? Definitely the government will give. So government will have to interfere. And now when they are paying lesser amount of wages, the employers, then they can employ more number of people. Although the employees are getting the same level of wages, that is W bar. So what is happening? The capacity to employ more labor is increasing, isn't it? Now the second way is what the government might itself expand the demand for the formal labor by expanding the employment of public sector enterprise. Now, if they increase their employment of the public sector enterprise itself in the urban areas, definitely then also the labor absorption will increase in the urban sector, in the formal urban sector, isn't it? So there are these two ways through which the absorption, the informal sector can be removed. Like first, the very important thing is urban sector का employment बढ़ाओ, ठीक है? Formal urban sector का employment बढ़ाओ, so that they can absorb the people from the informal sector. Okay, now let us analyze this using the diagram. Now you see here, suppose this is the earlier wage, that is W bar, which was given in the urban formal sector, and this is WA, which is given in the rural sector, isn't it? This one. So this is rural sector ka demand curve, this is urban sector ka demand curve, isn't it? Now you see what is happening from LF to LA. We are having a gap. What is this gap? You can say it unemployed people or the informal urban sector. Somehow इसको absorb करने का है. We don't need this one, isn't it? So what is happening? Two policies have been implemented. Okay, and what happened? The demand curve for labor is increasing here. The demand curve for labor is increasing here, and we see the demand curve have shifted this side. How does it working? What is the result? You see the capacity to employ the laborers have increased now, and it is absorbing all the unemployed people or the informal sector people. Understanding? So what is happening here? The wages in the rural sector is here WA. The urban sector ka wages is at W bar, but because we have applied these two ways, what is happening? The capacity to employ more workers have increased, isn't it? Now here, I have shown you that this much have been increased, that's why the whole have been absorbed. But there can be a situation where the demand have not increased this much, maybe somewhat less, and then we will see what? That the informal sector is still existing. Not only this, you see, still now the urban sector ka wages are higher than that of the rural sector. So same scenario will be prevailing again. What will happen? The laborers working in the rural sector will again migrate to the urban sector. And then what will happen? Two things will happen. First of all, agricultural sector ka laborers will decrease so much that now agricultural sector ka wages will start increasing. Okay, and urban sector का they have already absorbed this much. अभी और capacity नहीं है, but people are still now migrating, isn't it? तो क्या होगा? Urban sector का wages will again start to fall. So we are getting here two scenarios. As the labor force in agriculture falls, the agricultural wage tends to rise. As the labor force in the agricultural sector is falling, the agricultural wages is tending to rise. Next is what? The migration continues. As the migration is continuing, the expected urban wages tends to fall, and again we are standing in the same position where we have three different sectors: the new urban formal sector, the new agricultural rural sector, and the new informal sector. So this was another concept of Harris-Todaro model we have discussed. Now we will also discuss two more concepts. Like I would try to make it in one video. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but yes, I will try. So till then, bye bye. I hope you guys have liked this video. Please do hit a like and subscribe to my channel. Share with your friends, guys. I'm going to come up with new such informative videos. Till then, bye bye.